Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to go through one of my I am cards and to affirm something really nice about ourselves. So I want to say thank you so much for being here, and thank you to those people who share this stream and generally amplify this message. You guys are truly the heart and soul of this show. So, and once again, just wanted to let you guys know, we are here to go through one of these wonderful affirmations. There are 36 of them in this deck, and we're going to pull one today. If you were here on Sunday, you know that I pulled the 6 cards for this week, a card for every day except Awesome Saturday, because Awesome Saturday is my Sabbath, and I don't pull a card on that day. But yeah, I pull a card for every day of the week, and today I pulled one, and the one that I pulled is going to really inform the way that our day goes. So I'm going to pull the card. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. And what I'd like for you to do is to say out loud, I am that affirmation. So let's begin by saying that today I am centered. I am centered. I relax into the mysteries of life. So I am centered. I relax into the mysteries of life. Are you centered? You are centered. You relax into the mysteries of life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that down. And as I do, I am making this even more real for myself. I am taking that thought and I am having to put it through my fingers. So I am centered. I relax into the mysteries of life. So as I have written that down, I am making it more real. Good morning there, Lauren. Good morning there, Brenda Jean. I see that you guys are here, and it is wonderful to have you around. So indeed, I am centered today. And really, what is it like to be centered? Good morning, Shauna. I see you as well. I use the labyrinth as a visual metaphor for being centered, because ultimately being centered is about understanding where we are headed and also being okay with the fact that we're going to have to take a circuitous route to get there. Have you ever started a project thinking, wow, this is going to be really simple, and then hours and hours later, you're like, this is not nearly as simple as I thought it was going to be? It's so important for us to have goals and outcomes in life, and it's also important for us to understand that those goals and outcomes that we set for ourselves, those things, they're not always as straightforward as we think that they are. I recall I was working on a motorcycle once, and I had one single part to replace, and it was a very, very simple part. It was held together with 2 bolts and one single little electrical clip. So very simple. I mean, I had budgeted 30 minutes to do this job, but I thought that I could probably get it done in 5. And so I take the plastic off the motorcycle and I undo one of the bolts, and then I go to undo the other bolt, and the thing just rounds off. The bolt head just rounds off, and it's underneath of my wrench. And so now the part is just stuck on there. I'm like, oh crap. What is it that I'm going to have to drill this thing out? And this is such a simple job. And so I get my drill and I start to drill, and then the drill bit breaks. I'm like, oh crap. This is becoming even more complicated. Now, instead of just having to drill out a bolt, I have to somehow get this really super hard drill bit out of there. And ultimately, this job took me 6 hours, and I thought it would take 5 minutes. And all through it, I mean, I'm cursing and swearing and saying all kinds of adult grown-up words. And I know what I wanted to accomplish, and I think that it ought to have been simple, and it absolutely was not. And I must admit that I was not particularly centered in that moment. When I look back, all of those things going wrong had really messed up some of what I consider to be the core aspects of being centered, which are it took away my balance, it took away my calmness. I didn't feel stable. When we are centered, being centered helps us to really focus on the things that are important so that we can be productive and creative in our spaces. So being centered is such an important thing. Now, if you guys were here on Sunday, you know that I told a story about the cards for the week, and I'm going to read the paragraph about being centered. We can continue to follow the adventures of Luna. So, as Luna continued on her journey, she learned the value of finding balance and staying centered amidst the chaos of life. She discovered that by embracing inner stillness and surrendering to the unknown, she could find solace in the mysteries that once perplexed her. Luna cultivated an inner peace that allowed her to remain steadfast and grounded, even during the most turbulent of times. This tranquility radiated from her very being, and all of those who encountered her were inspired to seek out their own inner calm. And just like all of the other attributes that we affirm for ourselves on a daily basis, being centered in ourselves inspires other people to be centered as well. It inspires other people to find their own calmness, their own stability, their own balance. They see somebody else doing it and they say, I could do that myself. And so it just allows the people around us to also be more actualized in life. So being centered is really all about overcoming overwhelm. It's about understanding how we can be focused on the things that are important to us, and to be productive, to always move toward those goals, and to be creative so that when we are turned to the right or to the left by the situations of life, that we can just continue to move forward, even if we're not moving exactly in the direction that we thought we would, but that we are still moving in the general direction of it. So we have to understand and pay attention to the thoughts that we're having, to the emotions that we're having that might be taking us off of our center, to the sensations in our bodies. And these things are guideposts for us, and they allow us to really retain that aspect of being centered. So this card is an invitation for us to let go of our need for certainty, of our need for control over the way that the outcome comes to pass. We choose an outcome, and then life chooses a path, and then we walk that path. And ultimately, the more that we have a need for certainty and security and control, that is the level of neurotic that we are. And so we have to let go of that and really embrace the mysteries of life. Embrace that how we get there it isn't a linear thing. It doesn't always proceed in a linear fashion the way that we think it ought to. And yet, if we persist long enough, we still achieve our goal. So that's the message for today, guys. I want to say thank you so very much for coming by and hanging out with me. And I affirm that you are centered and that you are focused on the things that are important for you. And I'm here to really affirm for you that you are capable of balance, you're capable of calmness and stability, that you're capable of paying attention to your thoughts and your emotions and your sensations, and that you are capable of letting go of your need for certainty and control, that you can do it, and that you have control over all of these things, and that control is incredibly powerful. So let's all go out into the world today, and let's move in the direction of the things that we have purpose to do, and let's not be surprised or shocked when when life redirects us to going somewhere else, but rather let's just kind of accept that this is a part of living, this is a part of being alive, and it's just a very important part of life. So thanks for coming by. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. If you need a particular affirmation, they're on my YouTube channel, which is linked in the video description. And otherwise, I just want to say thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being my friends. I love you and care about you. And all of the words that I've said today, that I've said about me, I've also said them about you. I believe those words. So I will talk to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Aloha from paradise.